Hello and welcome everybody as we are here at Daytona for open qualifying. My apologies. As we got a couple of drivers here jumping in now. We're going to take you along with the 83 of Joshua Fix as he heads out for a couple of practice laps here before we jump into qualifying. Well, he didn't even get far before practice ended there. This is qualifying for the Daytona Duels that will be happening later this evening. The session will be open for an hour. All drivers will jump in and have an hour to complete their qualifying laps. They're only required to complete 2 to determine their position tonight for the Duels. So let's ride along with the 83 of Joshua Fix here as he heads out to the track. Light go from the wall.
Didn't exit the pits safely. You have to drive through the pits without stopping.
A little bit of an issue at the start of qualifying for the 83 here.
You'll upset the officials with your slow driving. Your lap times won't count, so you can reset the car, start over.
So he is going to try again here. See if he can get it right this time. looks like the 83 finally got it together there towards the end. Got his 2 laps of qualifying knocked out. We've got some other drivers here that looks like they may have laid down some laps also. We will check those out briefly. Give us just a moment to get things swapped over here. We'll be right back with you shortly. All right, we are back with you at the track. Currently, we are going to have a look-see here at who all has ran already. And we will get you a replay of their laps here momentarily. Bear with us just a moment. Just reviewing the records here. We've got, looking at this thing from the beginning here. First off, let's go ahead and let's talk about where we're at here. We'll get that driver box off the screen there. We're at Daytona currently. So this is qualifying a whole hour. These drivers have within the hour to get out here on the track, get 2 laps in, and try to lay down the best 2 laps they can to determine their gridding position for the 2 dual races tonight. So the way the races this evening will work, Brandon, what's up, dude? Appreciate you joining us, man. The way this will work, qualifying will run for the hour. Everybody will get their 2 laps in. We kind of touched on it earlier in the week, but it sounds a lot more complex than what it really is. But basically what happens is all of the finishers from qualifying will be split into 2 grids for dual race 1 and then dual race 2. So dual race 1 will consist of all odd finisher positions. So first place, third place, fifth place, seventh place, all the way down. Those guys will compete in a short 25-lap race at Daytona here tonight. In that exact order. That will be the grid order. And then for dual race 2, it will be the exact same setup, but instead of odd numbers, it'll be even numbers. So everybody from P2, 4, 6, 8, all the way down until we've got that grid lined up, they will compete in dual race number 2. Now, what this does, because this is not a regular season points race, this is more of a how can we keep it mixed and make it interesting type thing. Because what's going to happen, the finishes from these 2 races will also determine your grid for next weekend. So next weekend's full feature race at Daytona for 50 laps these two dual races will determine the grid order for the inside lanes, which would be duel 1, and then outside lane, which is duel 2. So that's what we're determining here tonight. So there will be some bonus points added from what I was told earlier today. Looks like they're going to give 10 bonus points to the finisher from dual race 1 for P1 and the P1 for dual race 2. Those two will get 10 bonus points. Second place will get 5. Third place through fifth, I believe it was, will get 3. And every position after fifth place will get 2. So some bonus points on the line here tonight, even for somebody who may not have a great short 25-lap race. So that's something that will carry over with them into next weekend's main feature. And, if the cards are played right, we know Daytona's a draft track here, so we expect to see a lot of drafting. But if the cards are played right, we could potentially wind up seeing a P1 finisher from tonight take home the main feature race win next weekend, and instead of only leaving with 40 points, they could very well leave with 50, which for some of these guys, that can be a difference maker. You look at the current standings in the truck series right now. Currently, Chantel Pottle and Aaron Vogt are right there within each other. An extra 10 points to one or the other could really switch up that leaderboard and really change things up. So a lot on the line here. But let's get our track map off here, and let's currently look at our full size leaderboard here. Whenever it gets up on the screen, maybe possibly taking a nap here. Who knows? One second, guys. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. See if I can't get this worked out. All right, apologies. The timing tower is wanting to be a bit difficult here. That's all right. We will get it worked out nonetheless. Bear with us a moment here. We'll get this worked out. All right. All right, so the software is wanting to be a bit difficult this afternoon, and that's all right. We will work around it for sure. We are going to place you on one more brief hold. We do apologize. Try and work out some of these kinks and get some more of these driver laps around the track going for you here. We can keep you up to date with what's going on. Just hang in tight for us for a second. me take you for a live view here. This was Riley Pottle jumping in for his qualifying session here, rolling out of pit lane. Getting ready to try and get his lap started. I do apologize again. We're not entirely sure what is going on with the software here. For some reason, our tower is not wanting to show. We know that other things are working because, well, you know, race info is showing up like it's supposed to. We're going to try and adjust the screen size here. See if maybe that makes a difference. We're thinking that maybe our stuff here is being cut off. I don't think that is the case. Everything looks to be in place there. We apologize. So it looks like he had a little bit of an issue out there on the track. He's going to attempt to reset here and try to get it going back again. We are still currently trying to figure out and assess this situation here with the broadcast, so just bear with us a moment here. This is not exactly how we planned for any of this to show up, and we are trying our best to work through the technical difficulties here. So he's kind of trying to make it through to that commitment line there. We have several drivers that have completed their laps so far. Once we finish up with Riley's here, we will take a look at some of these other drivers and see how they fared out. I apologize for the background noise. Apparently, I have a cat over here that would like to be a broadcaster as well. Thought I was going a little nuts there, guys. Sorry. I just realized there that we did not have audio because the race playback was in half speed. So I thought it was something that maybe happened on our end there, and it in fact was not. It was just the replay speed there. We'll try to get those squared away as well. As Riley Pottle continues his laps out here. Riley out there getting some good laps in now currently. So that was Riley Pottle's laps there. Now let's have a look here. Looks like the next one that entered pit lane was Brent Thompson. So let's have a ride along with him here. Sounded like Brent was trying to get that motor nice and revved up. Get that engine nice and hot before he gets out on his qualifying laps here. I do apologize, just making some more on-screen adjustments here. Trying to get it about as balanced as we're going to, I believe, here. So it looks like Brent Thompson's fastest time in that 45 machine was 51:55. So not bad. We do have a few other members who have jumped in since then. Let's see. I believe these were. Let me check this out here. No, let's see. I think this was. Let me make sure we're on the right track here. I think this was earlier from the restart from the 83 machine, Joshua Fix. He came out and did his qualifying at the beginning of the session here. Was able to barely get out of pit lane for practice, so he made it in the session just in time. I'm looking forward to seeing these dual races this evening. They're going to be a pretty exciting addition. I feel like this definitely this beats, to me, this beats doing your standard qualifying laps and practice before the race and then jumping into the race. This kind of, it gives it a fight for your place feel. At least that's how I feel about it anyway. Definitely makes things a lot more interesting. 2 exciting races tonight, 1 eventful evening for sure. And it all is just building the anticipation for next weekend's full feature race at Daytona. 50 laps here. That 83 is just zipping around the track. Raw speed here, no draft effect, so just all about what the driver can do out there on track and try to get the best qualifying laps in there, and that's going to do it for that 83 machine on his 2 qualifying laps. We kind of rode with him earlier in the beginning of this stream here since he was first one in session to get his laps in, but figured, you know, you might would want a view from the outside there. Now let's jump to the next one here that we have, which looks like is going to be Stephen Gall in the 25. Take a look at him out here and see how he fares during his 2 qualifying laps. As he comes out in that slick looking 25 machine Chevrolet there. Think he almost made the same mistake there that the 83 of Joshua Fix did at the beginning of this one. Didn't follow all the way around to the blue commitment line there. iRacing does not like that, and they will whop you over the head for it and make you restart. Oh, 25 getting a little loose there. He's past that blue commitment line now, so he'll make his way around this time. Let me see if we can at least get us a track map up, if that'll show up. I don't believe it will. I don't know. I'm thinking that the issue here is the session is strictly just a qualifying session, so I feel like the software is not feeling like we really absolutely need it. So everything should be working as is and is supposed to this evening for the races, so that should not be an issue. I think it just has to do with the fact that this is just a qualifying session. But no worries there. At the end of the session, we should be able to throw up the qualifying results here and see where we currently stand with positions, and give us a good idea on who is going to be going to what dual race. We've got about 20 minutes left in this hour session for qualifying, so we should be starting to get things into play here. Looks like we have about 9 drivers currently who have come in and done their qualifying laps and are ready to roll on to the next part of these races this evening. We have the brother of the 83 machine inside the chat right now, Joshua Fix. Brandon, welcome. Thanks for joining us, man. Hope you're enjoying the qualifying laps. He says he is ready to see Joshua Fix's son Gunnar Fix in the Truck Series. I have to agree with him. The more that the 71 machine of Gunnar Fix puts time in out there on the track and works at it, the better he definitely gets. And maybe one day soon, especially with this new change of a progression system coming, that may happen very soon as Stephen Gall in that 25 machine rounds out his qualifying laps there. we will look to see who our next qualifier will be, and it looks like that of the 05 machine, Chantel Pottle, will be making her way out on the track. Lay down some qualifying laps here. And she gets her Fox machine situated there in the pits. That is a sharp looking truck. I dig the paint scheme for sure. Been a fan of Fox racing for many, many years, so pretty cool to see it out there on a NASCAR track. As she rolls out of the pits here and gets set to make her 2 laps. Lengthy track here at Daytona. Anytime we visit here or Talladega, it's always a very lengthy ordeal. Races get drug out too when cautions come out. Cautions seem like they take forever and a day. I'm pretty sure at one point, earlier broadcast that we put on in the very beginning, I want to say we had enough time during a caution to run about 2 commercials worth of time, and they had just come back. When we come back from commercial break, they had just completed 1 caution lap, so it's quite lengthy. Definitely, obviously it's a draft track here, so draft will be everything, even with the grid being split tonight between 2 different dual races. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out, and it kind of makes you wonder with both dual races having less number of members out on the track. Are we going to see a little bit more of over-aggressive driving or things of that nature? Somebody going to pull out all the stops here to try to get the best position that they can at next weekend's main feature race here at Daytona. We've gotten word from the commissioner of the league for tonight's dual races. There will be cautions for incidents on track, unless they happen toward the back of the pack and drivers have enough time to get off the track before they make it back around, which here that shouldn't be an issue. There will be no EOL penalties tonight because the race is only 25 laps long, so race control will be a bit more laxed tonight for both dual races. We did get word on that. Trying to think. I believe that is all the information that has been passed down. They still will have penalties for 20 incident points and then a DQ for 25. I don't see that being an issue here tonight, so shouldn't really affect anything. As we take you now to the 11 machine of Ricky, getting ready to lay down his qualifying laps here in preparation for this evening. will say though, most of you may be thinking it, I find it a little strange that the tower is not working just because this is a qualifying session. Usually it still works during full-length back-to-back races where we have a practice qualifying and then the feature race. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that, but nonetheless, you can rest assured that it'll all be fixed and back to normal by this evening. This is our first time ever running just a qualifying only session, so that could have a lot to do with it. Maybe something in the software that just doesn't allow for those extra features. Everything else is working as it should. Race info and obviously nameplates here on the drivers, all of those things are working as they should. Nonetheless, it's not going to slow us down from a good qualifying this afternoon. Got several more drivers that we need to see out on the track for this qualifying before we conclude the broadcast here. And stay tuned to the Facebook page if you are not already a follower of it, as once the results for qualifying are in and we have everybody down, the grid order for tonight's races for both dual races will be announced to Facebook. And that way you know ahead of time of who you're looking for and what race you can expect to see them in. I think it will be weird for a lot of these drivers tonight, not all being out on the same track together. Next up, looks like we have Andrew Ziegler in the number 12 machine getting ready to come out and run his laps for qualifying. He's been an interesting one to watch this series. He's definitely fast out there in that Ford machine. As he exits the pits now and makes his way out onto the track. A little bit of a dreary looking day out there at Daytona. Seeing just how much extra data will actually show up out here, and it looks to be like none of them will show. Which, as I mentioned earlier, that's fine, no big deal. I really just feel like it has a lot to do with the current session that we're running in. Again, this is the first time that we have ever attempted just running a qualifying session, so has a lot to do with all of it here. Tell you from what we've seen so far, it does look like the Ricky in the number 11 machine appears to have the fastest time with a 51.46, so he is currently holding on to P1 right now. Let's see, looks like Chantel Pottle in the 05 is in P3 currently. We will update you again here shortly with those standings as more of these drivers make it out on the track to get their 2 laps of qualifying in. As sounds like Andrew there is just finishing up his qualifying laps. We will move on to the number 2 machine of Aaron Vogt now, as he gets situated in pits. A little bit of a burnout there as he exits. Oh, well, now this is different. Let me make sure I'm correct before I speak this out into the open here. We need to get a... Hold the phone here for a minute. We need to get a view of the... Let's see. I'm looking for it here. Where is it just hiding from me? I want to get a look at the front of that car. Ah, okay, never mind. I can see it from here, boy, and that is a shiny paint job. And this is a different change of scenery here tonight for the number 2 of Aaron Vogt. He's been running some of the season in the Ford machine. It looks like tonight he's switching to a Chevrolet. Seems like to me that would be saying he feels like those the Ford wouldn't have had the juice he needs to really get out there and dance around the track as he runs that outside line here at Daytona this evening. I'll give it to him though. He's got that truck looking super sharp. Thing's got a real polished look. I like it. He rounds out his qualifying laps here. We will see once he finishes up what position he drops into here. That sounds like that's going to do it for his, and he finished with a best time of looks like 51.53. That was enough to land him in P2. So if the leaderboard stays that way, he will be racing in dual race number 2 tonight. Let's hit out on the track with Aaron Martin here in the number 27 machine. His first time racing with the truck series tonight. He normally races in the street stocks, but he has recently decided he would also like to run the trucks, and boy, that is a different paint scheme, but I kind of dig it. That turquoise color is really kicking it. Believe he is going to get hit with the same issue that the 83 ran into. He didn't go all the way down to the blue commitment line down there at the end of pit exit. You will see that as we approach around this corner here, as you may have already seen it with some of the other drivers. There it is right there where that blue cone is. Those drivers have to stay below that yellow line before entering the track all the way to that blue line. I think he is realizing now what has happened, so he will either reset, and it looks like he's going to right here. See if he follows it all the way around. Keeps it above the, below the yellow line there until he reaches the blue commitment line. And then his next time around, his laps will start counting. And I do want to say, I believe he is the last driver we have currently showing that logged their laps. So we should be wrapping this one up shortly once the 27 is done here. Showing about just about a minute and a half left of qualifying, and then we should have our results for qualifying, our final results here. We will be able to get that information to you up on the screen. This has been an interesting qualifying session. I hope that we see this more in the future. I have heard rumors that they plan to keep this format for every Daytona race, so that would definitely make things interesting and keep the vibe really high, I feel like. Because in all honesty, this has been more interesting to me so far in preparation for a race than just watching these drivers load into a session, run some practice laps, knock out 2 qualifying laps real quick, and then immediately jump in the race. This kind of, drags out the event, keeps it interesting, and be a little bit of a different start to the races this evening as well. With these guys jumping in, they'll get 10 minutes of practice time for both dual races, and then they'll jump straight into the main feature of the race. So they'll leave practice, get gridded up, and then we'll jump right into some 25-lap action here tonight at Daytona with 2 separate races we got to bring you tonight. So plenty of action should keep us rolling through the rest of the evening here. I'm sure that in between the conclusion of this broadcast and the actual races this evening, I'm sure a lot of these guys will probably go and lay down some laps, some practice laps, and really get themselves geared up for the races this evening. Everybody wants a good starting position next weekend at Daytona, especially for a 50-lap race, because between good position and pit strategy and also the drafting, it can really make a world of difference here at Daytona. It's really it's all you got to go off of, really. There is the 27 of Aaron Martin finishes out his qualifying laps now. I'm going to check our timer one last time, and I do believe we finally have some results ready now that all drivers have made it out onto the track here. As we see that Hartsville Red Fox sign from the 83 Machines pit box there in pit lane. Pay no mind to the tower there. All right, so we will get those qualifying results up on the screen for you here. Oh, that is not accurate. That is for practice. My apologies. We'll get that off and get our qualifying results. Here we go. So it looks like Ricky in the 11 machine is going to be in P1, so he will be a part of Duel 1 tonight. Aaron Vogt will be your starting grid leader for Duel 2, holding down that second position in qualifying. Chantel Pottle will be in Duel 1. She will be in the second place position of Duel 1. Brent Thompson will be in second place of Duel 2. Stephen Gall, third place in Duel 1. Aaron Martin will be third place in Duel 2. Andrew Ziegler will be in fourth place in Duel 1. And Joshua Fix will be in fourth place of Duel 2. And Riley Pottle there will be in fifth place of Duel 1. So we do have a couple of drivers earlier on in the day that said that they would not be able to make it to the qualifying session, so they had to take a provisional. But they will still be racing tonight, so those members will be added in to even out the grids for both races. So you can expect to see between 5 and 6 drivers on the track per race. So they will not be listed here, obviously, because they did not were not able to participate in the qualifying. These were just qualifying participants. So that's what we got. And we will update again on the Facebook page here momentarily once the grid orders of everyone is set into place, and we will get ready for some action this evening. And hope you guys tune back into us. We hope everybody enjoyed watching the qualifying session on screen here, and hope you get to join us again this evening at 8:30, I believe, is when we are going live for the first race. It's on the YouTube channel, but I think that's when they're getting things started. So we hope you guys join us then, and look forward to speaking with y'all then. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.